Welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the blank wall. Doing a little renovating in the old home studio, and I wanted to get this shot before I was actually ready to with the heavy lifting, because, well, there's going to be a bookcase behind me, and bookcases are heavy. Books are heavy. I write big books, and I cannot lie. But anyway, I wanted to chat briefly with you today about something that a lot of writers use to great benefit. But every once in a while, I come across a situation where a writer has used this too much, and maybe as too much of a crutch. And no, I'm not talking about generative AI. There is no place for generative AI in fiction. And if you disagree, please feel free to give me a thumbs down and go yourself. I'm trying to swear less on the channel, so we'll see how that goes. But we would like to get monetized at some point, and I can only drop so many F-bombs, and probably none in the first 5 minutes of a video. So long about the 5-minute mark, we're gonna let fly. Anyway, if you like the writing tips that I provide, or the readings that I do, or the publishing information that we give out here on the channel, please take a moment to subscribe, give us a like, leave a comment for more stuff you want me to talk about, and ring the bell to get notified. Now, what is it that I'm talking about? What do writers use too much of, and what do they give too much power to? Beta readers. That sound you hear in the background, that is thousands of collective unpublished and lightly published authors' heads exploding and people screaming and calling me a moron. So you'll have to keep watching to figure out whether I am or not. But first, let's talk about what beta readers are. Beta readers are like beta testers for software. They are the people who read your book before it goes to your editor and before it goes to publication. These are typically unpaid people, and they're usually not professional writers, they're usually not professional editors, and they're usually not compensated. All of these things, I used a lot of usually in there because somebody in the comments is going to point out, well, I have 3 beta readers and they've all won Hugo Awards. Well, good on you. If you've got 3 friends who've won Hugo Awards, you might be further along in your writing career and might not need beta readers anymore, by the way. But the beta reader is someone who gets the book after it is complete and after you, the writer, have polished it as much as you can without help. They're that set of fresh eyes before you send it to an agent or an editor on submission, and before you send it to your editor at the publishing house that holds your contract. If you use beta readers, and I am certainly not saying you have to, that step happens before I ever see it. And that's before I see it if you're writing for Falstaff, and absolutely before I see it if you're hiring me to do your edits freelance. By the way, I do that every once in a while. Send me a note if you want to talk about that. Your beta readers, usually you have 3 to 5. I know some people use a ton of betas. I don't have time to sort through all that feedback. I actually don't use beta readers. It's not something that works for the way I write books. I think Brandon Sanderson has a whole team of beta readers or ARC readers. And he also has a crew who compiles all that feedback and then sends it to him to sort through. So if you've got infrastructure, you can do more of that. But your beta readers are often super fans of your work who've read all your books, and they can tell you, hey, you said in Harker 1 that there aren't any dragons, and now in Harker 5 you say that there's a dragon. And then you as the writer say, hey, he's an unreliable narrator, and I said he didn't think there were any dragons. Sometimes he's a moron. And that's your out. Also, that is exactly what I did. I have an unreliable narrator, so I let him be unreliable and incorrect sometimes. But your beta readers get the book, read the book, give you feedback. The more detailed the feedback, the more useful. Your beta readers should not be dicking around with comma placement. That is not what they are best for. If you are using 20 beta readers to find all your typos and commas, cut that shit out and hire a professional copy editor and a proofreader. Also, don't do that until you've sold the book. Your comma placement, as long as you have a vague sense of punctuation, your comma placement is not what's going to keep your book from getting sold. The fact that your story is weak will keep your book from getting sold. So what I've seen and what happened this week that brought this to the forefront of my big old noggin, I just finished edits on a book that we'll be publishing later this year at Falstaff, and it is a book in series, and I've done the edits on several of the books in the series, and I did the edits on this one, and I made a note near the climax of the book, actually in the denouement, in the very tail end of Act 3, I made a note that there was a point of action that felt too early. There had been the big climactic fight, all kinds of things were going to have to change, and somebody came up before the corpses were even cold and started talking about who the new leader was going to be. And this was kind of out of left field as far as who the right leader would be. It made perfect sense once you thought about it, but it's not the kind of thing you're going to do in the aftermath of battle. The blood isn't even sticky on the floor from the fight yet, and people are talking about a succession plan. That's not how people process. If you go through a big traumatic fight, your characters have to not dead. Still 10. All right. Got all my parts. Oh my God, X person is dead. I have to process that. Oh my God, I killed Y person. I got to process that. There's a lot of immediate mental and emotional work that your characters have to do before they can start looking forward to the Monday morning staff meeting. So I said, please God, move this later. It's completely incongruous and needs to not happen here. I like this choice. I like this idea. I hate this timing. I was a little nicer in the comments. The author sent back the edits the other day. I started working through them and got to a point where they said, oh, thank you. I didn't want to put that there, but my beta readers told me I needed it there. Your beta readers aren't the people who pay you for the book. They aren't the people who put the book on the shelves and their name is not on the cover or the spine. Your name is, and your publisher and your editor are responsible for the other parts. Those are the people who get to make you make changes. And realistically, your editor doesn't make you make changes, nor does your publisher. They will suggest changes, and your publisher may tell you, if you don't make this change, I'm not publishing this book. But they won't change your book. Why would you let someone who is typically not a professional writer or editor or publisher, why would you give them that much power? It's your book. If you have, let's say you have 5 beta readers, 3 of them say you absolutely need to make this change. 2 of them say it's fine as it is. Well, if you think the 2 who say it's fine as it is are right, do that because your book. If you think the 3 that say you absolutely have to make this change are right, do that because your name on the book. If you don't want to make a change that your beta reader suggests, don't make the change. It's not their book. Yes, you should trust them. Yes, you should, if you sought out their input, you should value their input, but their name ain't on the damn thing. If they suggest a change that you don't want to make and you still feel you're compelled to do it, ask yourself why. Why do you want to go against your instincts as a writer to make this change? Does this beta reader have a perspective on the character in the real world that you don't have? That may be valid. Are you tired of the damn book and your eyes are blurry from staring at it so many times and you don't ever want to think about it again and you'll just do whatever anybody tells you to do so it gets off your desktop? It happens. We've all been there. It sucks. Fight against that. All you can do as a writer is make the best damn book in the world. You can't make anybody buy it. You can't make anybody else fall in love with it. All you can do is write the book you want to write to the best of your ability. And hopefully that ability gets better and better with every book you write. But it's got to be your book. When you hand that power over to a beta reader, you're not just cheating the readers, you're cheating yourself. You need to own every word in the book. Now, this author had an editor who is definitely not afraid to be a jerk and doesn't give a flying crap about feelings. He just cares about making the best book possible because that's the editor's job. My job isn't to make you feel good about yourself. If you've watched this channel at all, you know that I frequently don't give a flying shit, whether you feel good or not. But I'm going to try to help you make the best books possible. So use beta readers or don't. That's your call. But if you do, you still have to make all the decisions. You have to decide if they are right or if they're full of crap. Because let's face it, sometimes we're all full of crap. Hey, you might think I'm full of crap on this video. But if you liked and subscribed and rang the bell to get notified, feel free to leave me a comment telling me exactly how full of crap I am. I probably won't read it because I don't. I've been on the internet a long time. You can tell by the white beard. I learned a long time ago not to read the comments, except yours. Your comment is super important to me. That's my rant for the day. I'm going to go back and edit more stuff and maybe write a little bit. So, till next time, when hopefully I have a bookshelf up or something to make it look a little less bland behind me. Y'all take care of one another, okay?